Deep within the fetid bowels of the Rotten Vale resides a vicious predator, a savage beast with rending claws and jaws lined with fangs so sharp they cleave through flesh with ease. I'm talking about the Odogaron, and I'm taking one for a walk. In a world filled with things with wings, things without wings that would have them if they could, big-ass dinosaurs, useless lizards, and whatever this dumb thing is, the Odogaron is a breath of fresh air, ironic considering where it lives. It's a dog, sort of. Okay, it looks like a dog that was drawn using only red crayon by a 5-year-old who had a particularly bad encounter with little Bowser the Beagle from next door. But hey, when your life consists of wading through decades of old flesh and rib cages, and your roommates are a lizard with halitosis and this dumb jerk, you're probably not going to care about presentation that much. This is also the excuse I use for why I don't bathe in real life. Don't let the nasty appearance of the Odogaron deceive you. You'd be amazed by how similar its behaviour is to a domestic, less murdery dog. Just assert your dominance and take your canine friend for a stroll, but don't forget to clean its mess up. This might be a rotten vale, but it doesn't have to be unsafe for our children. What? Don't look at me like that, we're not savages. Carry on acting like that and the next thing you know we'll be skinning animals and wearing their pelts for... Oh, wait. Odogarons love to run and play, and they especially love their chew toys such as dead Legianas, stray Palumus, 5-year-old Timmy from next door, and you. Get one of these lovable puppies excited and you'll quickly learn the importance of obedience training. They'll be quite literally bouncing off the walls with joy when you get them riled up, and those gnarly talons will carve you up like a delicious turkey dinner. Your best bet is to be every bit as energetic as your new pet and roll until you find the perfect opening to discipline them, except instead of a rolled up newspaper you'll be using a sword twice as large as yourself. These devilish dogs are the only creature in the new world to potentially cause you to bleed when they hit you, which is kinda strange if you think about it. I guess most monsters must manicure. Bleeding causes you to take damage over time, which is exacerbated by dodging and attacking, which you'll be doing plenty of when you're fighting this naughty boy. If you're affected by bleeding, then simply use your vast supplies of sushi fish scales. Just kidding, like anyone bothers to fish. You'll probably find it easy to disengage and crouch in a corner for a bit to give your hunter time to scoop their guts back off the floor and shove them back into their body. Odogarons are at their most dangerous when enraged, and while this goes without saying for most creatures, it's doubly true for this beast. They hit like a truck and are incredibly manoeuvrable, making them exceptionally deadly foes. But when their anger subsides, they're usually left exhausted, allowing you to really show them what a bad boy they've been. Odogarons are by and large soft all over, much like a real dog, but instead of petting them, you'll be spending most of your time shanking them to death and doing big damage in the process. Please don't do this with actual dogs. However, if your Odogaron proves to be too unruly, you may need to take drastic measures and put it down for good. This is a sad time in every hunter's career, and you may find it difficult, but it is your duty to use whatever means necessary to give it the most humane end you possibly can. It's hard, but I know you can do it. Odogarons are one of the few monsters to dislike the ice element other than Diablos, and are heavily resistant to fire, so I guess you'll be having a chili dog rather than a hot dog. They're also not really affected by water, so put away the spray bottle, it ain't gonna work. Dragon is also completely useless, it's a dog, not a dragon, silly. When you've skinned enough puppies, a sentence I hope to never say outside the context of this video, Odogaron armour is a very edgy but admittedly cool set of light leather armour that makes you look like a samurai mercenary, and it's tremendously good for people who like to see huge damage numbers. The alpha set grants an extra 20% affinity and allows you to keep your blade sharp with 3 ranks of speed sharpening built into it. It also offers bleed resistance, which is nice if you want to battle more doggies, but not much else. 2 pieces of Odogaron armour grants Odogaron Mastery, giving a stun effect and boosting your attack score when you land an attack as you draw your weapon. And 4 pieces of armour means your weapon will not blunt at all for a while after sharpening. A real saint for things like insect glaives and dual blades, which wear down faster than my will to live when I see a tempered Chiron. I've been neglecting to talk about palico equipment in previous videos, so let's rectify that. This badass suit of armour will turn your feline friend into a canine companion with a very cruel looking sickle and a grim doggy face. The glowing eyes are a nice touch, but maybe it's best not to let the palico know that you secretly crave the idea of having a dog by your side instead of a cat. I won't tell them if you don't. Odogaron weapons continue the exotic aesthetic, having appearances that are very different to many other weapons in their class. Their relatively low baseline damage is offset by a huge boost in affinity, and they are among the sharpest weapons in the game, also offering a hidden element of fire for that little extra damage if you do so choose to use it. In conclusion, who's a good boy? Who killed the nasty Palumbo? You did, yes you did, yes you did.